This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Hump Day Huddle. My name is Shania Chambliss. I serve as the Regional Sales Director covering the state of Georgia and here at Empower, and I'm so excited to be here today. We have a very special training set up for you all. We have Griselda Sanchez from Aflac, and she will be talking about this amazing opportunity that you have as an Empower broker to be able to offer your client base a variety of products. So, Griselda, are you there?
I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So, I am going to turn it over to you. This call is recorded. We'll have some agents continue to come in. We will have Q&A at the end of your presentation, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. All right. Well, good morning, team. By way of introduction, again, my name is Griselda Sanchez. I'm one of the regional directors with Aflac. I've been with the company for about 25 years, and it is an absolute pleasure today to walk you through the opportunity that you have in the business to business market. Although you do have an opportunity to be able to offer Aflac to your clients direct to consumer as well. But today we're going to kind of go over the life cycle of what it is to kind of get you jump started in the payroll market or in the business to business market to be able to assist you in expanding your portfolio of what you can offer to your clients in that sector and have an opportunity to be able to cross sell at the same time. Business owners need advisors just as yourselves to be able to kind of give them some solutions, provide them some insights, possible savings. So today, hopefully, I get to give you a very good glimpse of how it is that you can get jump started in doing so. I am going to share my screen. Shania, if you could please let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, I am.
Perfect. All right. Well, I kind of want to give you guys a little introduction of your opportunity in the business to business market, as I mentioned, and the life cycle as far as an account. We are a little bit limited in time today, so I'm going to do as best as I can to kind of walk you through this. And of course, I know that Shania is going to be able to provide you some additional resources and time slots so that we can connect again and then has some ongoing training. So I'm excited about that. Now, a lot of you may already have some opportunity in the business to business market, and some of you may not. So we're going to kind of go through the process of the conversation with the decision maker, approaching some potential clients. I'll give you some ideas as well. And then once we have an opportunity to, have some conversations with these business owners, how it is that you can quote. I'm going to give you some insights on some of our products and how it is that you can position yourself to kind of guide the client through the best scenarios for the employees out of workplace. And I kind of give you an idea as well as far as the need for that and your opportunity. By the way, before I get started, I'll give you a little introduction and a little history on Aflac as well. Fortunately, you are in our home office area. Some of you may be in the Columbus, Georgia. Aflac was founded over 70 years by three brothers in that area. And, the idea of doing what we do all derived from a financial and a medical situation that this family went through. The father of the three founders was actually diagnosed with cancer. unfortunately, Mr. Amos lost his battle to cancer. And that left these three brothers with a little bit of, what is there out there in in the industry that truly helps people when there's a diagnosis such as cancer, having to figure out how to make ends meet. That person that work every day and depends on every hour of that income, there's already benefits in place that kind of helps the doctors and the hospitals and life insurance when a situation like a loss of a family occurs. But there's truly nothing out there that helps people directly to give them and the families that peace of mind that they need to truly take care of their situation without, having to have those worries, having to lose what they work so hard for and cancel that noise. Because the reality is that everyday clock doesn't stop. So in the industry, we came in and first in the industry to come in to do what we do, provide a solution that pays the benefits directly to people so that they can decide what it is that they're going to do to be able to kind of go through their situation. Now, hopefully that gave you a little insight on the voluntary benefit side. Now, at the end of the day, we really at this point don't really call it voluntary or supplemental because, sometimes it's like, oh, that's just a little extra. The reality is that it is extremely essential. The number one cause for bankruptcies in the US, honestly, is due to a situation that a family goes through when a medical situation strikes. 66 of the bankruptcies in the United States occur due to a medical situation striking a home. 70% of that 66 has health insurance. So hopefully that opens up, a little clarity as far as the importance of going out there and speaking to clients and protecting families so that they don't have to go through these financial hardships. And they have a peace of mind to truly go through the situation that they're going through and cancel the noise and take care of what is important. We actually went a little low above that as well. Obviously, more than cancer can strike. So there's additional solutions that we're going to go over today that we're able to help employees at a workplace and help employers provide solutions to their employees without having to cancel anything that's currently working for them, just enhancing their current benefits in their portfolio. Some business owners don't have anything at all. We're not the only solution, but it is at least a jump start. And of course, if you are already in the industry that helps clients with ACA or ICRA, help them to be able to have some sort of coverages and then supplement them with something that'll help them. The reality is that there will never be a health insurance policy that'll cover 100%. People will always be out of pocket. Now, in Columbus, Georgia is our corporate office. We actually have one of the largest cancer center research centers in the nation or in the world, I would say. And it is located in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, these three brothers were actually approached at one point to see if we would make a donation towards this cancer center or this hospital, which was a little smaller at the time. And these brothers said, we don't want to give a donation. We want to be a part of the solution. So we actually, our cancer center, I was able to have an opportunity to visit that cancer center. And now we've expanded that new cancer center and it is amazing. But once I set foot into that cancer center, I knew Aflac was more than just an insurance company in the industry. They're here to truly be here for people. And when you just walked around that Children's Cancer Center and saw all the amazing doctors and nurses and children and families, going through the situation, but having some sort of peace of mind that they were getting taken care of, it just, solidified to me that I was with the right company. So with Empower, you have a lot of opportunity now to be able to cross sell with the top in the insurance industry as far as voluntary or essential benefits are concerned with Aflac. So I'm excited to share this opportunity with you. We're going to go through the cycle of how it is and what it is that you need to truly prepare yourself to open up and set up an account properly. Of course, service is something that comes with this. I didn't sign up with Aflac to send somebody to an 800 number. I want to be there for families when they need it the most. And it's how you help educate them as well. A family could be, going through a minor injury or maybe going through an annual physical or a wellness checkup. And if you show them how it is that they can utilize the tools that are set before them, they're able to take care of their scenario and get, paid for their claims immediately. One of the things that our founder and CEO, Dan Amos, really, continues to, keep this as the number one priority for Aflac and for the field is customer service, being there for the family when they need it the most immediately. So there's all sorts of different tools that you're going to be able to have to your fingertips as aside from the policyholders also being able to have access. I remember when I first got started with Aflac, my first investment in this business was going to buy a fax machine at the pawn shop so that if I ever ran into a situation to where I helped a client with a claim, I was prepared and was able to do that. So I remember back in the day, we used to have, a 5, 6, 7 page paper application to be able to submit a claim for clients and then pick up their paperwork that we needed to check up the box. If it was a larger claim, we were really instructed to be able to hand deliver those checks. Today, we can be talking to our clients, and while we're speaking to them, we could be on our app, on our Aflac app, and we could be processing that claim while we're speaking to the client. I asked my client, can you take a picture of that pathology report and text it to me? We upload it and then submit it to Aflac, and our client gets a direct deposit. On an average, our claims process is between 1 to 6 business days if we have all of the paperwork that we need to submit to a client. So just imagine before any treatment, receiving something as a direct deposit in your bank accounts or the client's bank accounts, and being able to have the option to go get a second opinion if you need to, pay those deductibles and so forth. So hopefully that kind of paints the picture for you. As far as the enrollment process, it's very easy to enroll. Our platform where we enroll is called Everwell. So if you have a pen and a paper, write this down. Make sure that if you are already contracted with Aflac, you get ahead of the game and do a course in our Academy Connect, which I will walk you through how to get to the Academy Connect in just a minute. But the course that you need to take is E as in Edward, X as in X-ray, 140. You have to be certified in order for us to be able to utilize this enrollment platform. It's very user-friendly. I don't know if some of you shop on Amazon. I do. And I like to kind of look through the benefits, look through the reviews, see what options I have when I'm making a purchase, and then I send it to the cart. So that's kind of what Everwell kind of looks like. You look through the different options for the client, and then they select the best option for them, and then it goes into a cart, and then you walk through the application. So hopefully this kind of gave you a little glimpse and a little insight as far as who we are, as far as a company is concerned. Now, when you get contracted with Aflac, In 1955, which is over 70 years ago, is when we were founded. This is our bread and butter, our original side of our business. We call it our traditional individual side of Aflac. This is where if you have any accounts that have between 3 to 99 employees, actually, I have clients that, have 200, 300, even 500 employees that I offer traditional business for. It's very easy to administer. The claims process as well is a breeze. And you want to think about the traditional side of the business. And you see individual here, don't get it confused to saying, oh, this is the product that is direct to consumer, directly through their checking accounts or their savings accounts. Not necessarily. The traditional individual side are plans that are pretty much shelf plans that are regulated by each state. And these plans pretty much are already designed. We submit to Aflac, the rating request for each company that we're going to offer it to. They let us know what it is that we're going to quote for the particular client. And those are the rates and these are the plans. These policies are 100% portable because they are employee owned, which means if you have a client that has at least 3 or more employees, you're able to offer them these, a better portfolio of benefits at a lower cost. Sometimes the age bands do not matter, and they get to keep those policies at that same rate. Then we bought out a company called Continental American, which is our Aflac Group side of the house. You're not currently going to get appointed with Continental American, but if there is a one-off case scenario that you run into a situation to where it is a large account and you need to come in competitive, we need to be able to plan, design the products and quote it to fit the need of the client. That's where we're going to be able to open up Aflac Group. It's truly designed for a company that has at least 100+ employees, because you have to have at least 25 certificate holders or different employees at a workplace that participate in the Aflac Group plans. The other difference is that, and of course, it is portable. Back in the day when I started with Aflac and we had the option to offer group plans, we were a little hesitant because employees didn't own their policies with Aflac Group. If an employer canceled Aflac or an employee retired, or there was ever a separation between the employee and the employer, they did not get to keep those policies because they were employer owned. Now we are able to offer Aflac Group to the bigger public sector or bigger cases. And even though it's employer owned, the employees do have the option to have it portable. So that hopefully that kind of gives you the scenario of the two different sides of the house. Through Aflac Group, we also bought out a company called, and that's our Group Dental and Vision. Our Group Dental and Vision, we're able to offer those clients the dental and vision without being certified for Aflac Group or contracted with Aflac Group. So, and that we do it on the traditional side. And we can go down to as little as 2 lives, depending on how many employees they have at the workplace. So hopefully this kind of gave you a glimpse or a picture of the two sides of Aflac. Traditional individual can be offered directly to the consumer. There are limited plans that we are able to offer direct to the consumer, but the bread and butter is that payroll sector that has at least a minimum of 3 employees at a workplace or more. Aflac Group If there's ever an opportunity, we will be able to offer you the contract for Aflac Group, even though today our of Aflac associates in the field, they have to have certain amount of years or months actually in tenure. They have to have at least 75,000 in annualized premium, and they have to have a certain amount of traditional individual payroll groups in order for them to get contracted with Aflac Group. You are in a unique situation to where we're going to be able to submit an exception for you if a scenario comes through. Now, the reason we're introducing you to Aflac Traditional is because it's the simplicity of learning it. And if you get a client that you go and speak to, let's say today is the last week, it's the 27th. You have a small group that has 5, 6 employees, and you go and you do a presentation with that business owner. It makes sense to that business owner, and he or she says, well, we're all available now. Are you able to talk to my employees and see if they're interested? With Aflac Traditional, we can set up an account quickly on the spot, whereas if with Aflac Group, it's a process. It could take 2 to 3 weeks to build and do a case with Aflac Group. So that's a big difference. So that's why we kind of wanted to start with the traditional side, kind of walking through how this works, the simplicity of it, the process, and then if there's ever a opportunity with Aflac Group, obviously we have that option. So hopefully that gave you a little bit clarity, because when I walk you through the Aflac site in just a little bit, and show you where it is that you can view the products by state, you're going to be able to see 3 sides: the plans that you can offer direct to consumer, the individual policies that you can sell to a company that has at least 3 or more employees, and our Aflac Group side of the house. Now, when I introduce you to these plans, I was able to do what we called a landing page, and I'm going to send this to Shania so that she can send to you and share with you. The landing page is an overview of videos of the product, and then I went ahead and added some brochures in those landing pages or in that link, so that way you can view the brochures, go over those brochures, go into the One Aflac site and order some of those brochures, because Aflac will send you those brochures and ship them to your address. We're going to go through how it is that we can set up the account, create some proposals, create some quotes. I'll be quick and brief on that side, and we'll go in through more detail on how to do that. But at least today, I'm going to walk you through what information you're going to need to be able to do so. And then, of course, the enrollment process, the simplicity of it, if you have your ducks in the row, how it is that it could be smooth sail for you if you do everything from pre-enrollment and then post-enrollment as well. Service, as I mentioned, is very, very important. Now, what I want to share with you is this. Initially, to prepare you, when we go and we speak to a business owner, every industry is different, okay? There are 2 different plans with Aflac that will vary as far as the cost is concerned based on the industry of your client. And that is the accident and the short-term disability policy. So I'm going to walk you through how it is that you can submit a SIC request through your Aflac site. And then once you do so, Aflac then is going to say, okay, based on the industry of your client, your account is an A, B, C, D, or E rate. An A rate obviously is the most favorable, but the A rate normally is for like schools, educators. You can have, and it doesn't have to be a public school. It can be a private school that has 50, 70, 80 employees, even 20. You only need 3 employees. Now, anything in the medical field, which is our number one industry at Aflac, anything that has to do in the medical field, a doctor's office, a pediatrician, anything in a medical field, with exception of DMEs. DMEs is considered more of kind of like a store or a shop. So your DMEs are more likely going to come back with a B as in boy rating. Everything else in the medical field is a C rating. Then you have the second largest option industry with Aflac, and it is the trucking and brokerages. I don't know if you have any of that in your area, but that is some ideas of some companies that you can go out and prospect on. And these trucking companies can either be a C or a B rate, which is still a good favorable rating. I don't know if you have any oil industries in your area, but an oil industry can be a C or a D rating. So it just depends on the type of the industry. Now, when we submit a SIC request to Aflac, there are some things that you're going to have handy to be able to do so. And I'll walk you through what it is you're going to need to be able to prepare to submit an SIC request. But once you get that SIC and submit it, Aflac is going to provide you what is called an SIC record number. The SIC record number is utilized so that when you go and you present the proposal to your client, then your client is going to say, sure, talk to my employees. Then you're going to create a new account through NASA in the same area where you submitted an SIC request. But the reason you need that record number is so that you're not having to go in and type in all of the information, one, and two, it kind of in the back end, your account is already preset with one, the rating, and two, when you go into what we call the NASA, the new account activation system, it already kind of populates everything you've already submitted for your SIC. And then you just go through the motion and filling out the rest of the information to create the new account. But it's very important that I highlight for you that if you make a list for yourself of some potential businesses and you're like, okay, I'm going to go and work in this area. I know some potential clients there. Let me prepare beforehand. Off a bunch of SIC requests so that way I'm ready to go if they say, well, you can do so. But what's important is that I tell you your information for your client has to be accurate when you submit an SIC request. I'll give you an example. You go to a trucking company and you look it up and you see Empower Trucking Company, and you go in and you plug in Empower Trucking Company, then you go and you see the client and you learn that their tax ID actually has Empower Trucking Company LLC or DBA, and now the name does not match. You're going to have to redo that SIC request so that those names and that information matches exactly the way it needs to. Otherwise, you're going to kind of run into a little bit of hiccups. So I wanted to highlight that for you as well. I'm going to share this link with Shania, so that way you're able to have it. Once you get the SIC request, then you can go into the NASA. And in here under the NASA, I have some hyperlinks. And in these hyperlinks, you have anything you kind of hover over that is in blue, it takes you through kind of like a screenshot of what it is. What's important is when you set up your new account, it's going to ask you in the new account activation system to be able to, it's going to ask you if you currently have a broker. You have to indicate that there is a broker involved. And in here, the account is under your name, so you have access to it. But if you need assistance, it's the only way that Empower will be able to have visibility as well. So pretty much when it asks you for, is there a broker involved, you're going to indicate yes. You're going to indicate Empower Brokerage. And then you put the servicing broker's writing number, which is A is in Apple, S is in Sam, U is in umbrella, A is in Apple, the number 6, just like it appears on this screen. And where it indicates broker block, we need to update this. You need to indicate yes. And this, again, the same information. At the very bottom, the level is going to be on the level 14. So hopefully that kind of gave you a little glimpse. I'm going to now kind of walk you through. I'm going to pause for a second.
Now, this is great information. I'm learning a lot. I know that the agents will have a lot of questions. Would you like to just save the questions until the end of your presentation?
I'm going to pause for a little bit. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm going to show you something really quick.
Okay.
This right here is what we called a business survey. Can you see my business survey, Shania?
Yes.
Perfect. I'm also going to share this with you so that you have it. This pretty much, when I am going to go talk to a client, what's important is this. When you go visit with a client, first thing I want to share with you before this survey is this. If you don't have experience in how to approach businesses and how to schedule appointments with business owners, don't be fearful. All I have to tell you is that you have to, one, be genuine, and you have to be yourself. Number two, you're in this business to provide service, right? To provide solutions. And you've got to take the agent hat off and put a business owner hat on. And when you are approaching potential clients, either over the phone or in person, what you have to know is that you are a business owner and a consultant in the industry. And when you are going to approach these businesses, what's important is that you have to be other-centered. Other-centered means that when you approach them, it's not about you and your products and what you want to offer to them. It's about them and learning about them to provide them the solutions, the savings, and so forth. So an other-centered approach, when I actually, when I prepare to call on clients, I first off want to make sure that I'm truly prepared to be able to go out there effectively, and I'm not running all over the place like a chicken with a head cut off. So I say, okay, I am going to work. I have some places in mind, and around those places that I have in mind, I'm going to canvas one area or talk to a few clients in those particular areas. And there may be some other businesses that I can go four-corner market to. And when you approach these businesses, instead of me saying, hi, my name is Griselda, I was in the area. I'd like to see if I can get on the calendar for the person who's in charge of your insurance benefits. I'm more than likely going to get a hesitation, or we're not interested, or we're covered, we're good. So I want to truly be prepared so that I don't run into that type of scenario or kind of pivot a little bit. So what I do is I do a little bit of research. I go to Google, I learn about the company. Maybe they started, I thought they only had one location. They expanded to having 2 other locations, how many employees they have. So there's all sorts of different resources that you can get that type of information, including Google Chrome or Google. You can even go to AI at this point and go into your ChatGPT and say, trucking companies in Columbus, Georgia, with business owner contact information. And it's going to send you some information. That's crazy. But when I make these approaches to these businesses, I have the information that I did the research on. I have at least the name of the company, the address, possibly the contact person, and I'm just calling to verify it. So when I approach any businesses, and of course, when you make your approaches, there's two ways that you can get jump started with Aflac. You, you can either start the hard way and just prospecting or calling on businesses that you don't know. It's going to take a little bit of legwork and some more phone calls and some more in-person visits to be able to get the number of appointments that you need, versus you work smarter and then work on a referral basis. When I say that is, if you come in and you think of, and some people say, well, I don't know anybody. Yes, you do. You have a doctor's clinic that you go to. If you have pets, you have a veterinarian. If you're in this industry, then you obviously are 1099. You know a CPA. That is a very good center of influence that could possibly refer you to people. If you drive a vehicle, you drive, you may all know someone in the dealership, right? So there's different industries. So when you're approaching these businesses, you know, it's this, I'll give you an example of how I approach them. Hi, this is Griselda. I'm a local business owner here in the area. I was calling to verify some information, as I'm going to be sending in some information to, I have Shania here listed that is in charge of making decisions for the employees, or the portfolio for the employees at your workplace. Is your current address blah, 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 here in Columbus, Georgia? Perfect. And is she currently located at this address, so that when I send her this information, it goes directly to her? That's how I verify the info. Now, if for some reason, you know, once I verify, now I go in person, I'm more effective. When I pop in, instead of asking for the person, I'm actually popping in and saying, hi, is Shania in the office by chance? I'd like to see if I can get on her calendar. If Shania comes out, this is my other centered approach. Hi, Shania. Thank you for taking the time. I'm in the area, as I was helping a client here nearby. I'm a business owner and I'm a consultant to business owners like yourselves, and in providing solutions, possible savings, learning more about you and your company to see how it is that we can provide you some of these solutions, or if we're a fit. Would you have time on your calendar so that we can allocate or learn from, you know, I can have some time to learn about you and your company? I see that you have, you know, so that's a little bit of an other centered approach. I didn't approach the client saying, hi, my name is Griselda. I'm with Aflac. I'd like to talk to you about, or I'm with Empower Brokerage. I'd like to talk to you about the insurance benefits and solutions that we're able to provide to employers and businesses in the area. I may lose them because, you know, they may already have something in place, or somebody they already work with may not give us a chance. So now, once you do have an opportunity and you're able to talk to that business, the next thing is, I want to kind of learn for that company. So if you have this business survey handy, it's truly going to walk you through that process. So I find out, you know, hey, thank you, Shania, for taking your time. As I mentioned, I'm going to learn a little bit about you and your company to see if there's any solutions or any value that I can bring to your company, possible savings. So what is the legal name of your company? So I go through all of this information that's on the top of the survey and I verify it. And then I want to take my first objective out of the window. Shania, thank you so much for taking the time. Hey, by the way, are you the only one that is in charge of the decision making for your employees here at the workplace? And the reason I ask is, you know, I want to find out if there's somebody else involved, because since we're here, I'll be able to answer most of their questions as a business owner perspective, or if it's an HR. And that way, I don't leave that time that I have with them with, well, I need to talk to somebody first before you come in. So I kind of walk them through. But this business survey kind of allows you to go through the engaging portion of it, learning about the company, asking the right questions, discovering what the portfolio looks like. And then here it gives you some different questions that you can kind of pick based on the client that you're visiting with. So once you learn about this company, and this is kind of like, I know that Empower currently has a find factor as well. And you can utilize that and then, or use this when you're approaching the clients for Aflac. And this kind of helps you walk through it, but kind of pick some of these things. So I want to share this with you because it kind of walks you through the conversation that you have with the business owner. And if you're effective with collecting the information that you need, and then you need help with guiding them through what solutions you can offer to this potential client, Shania and I would be able to happily and gladly help you to set that up so that we're able to do that. But eventually, you're going to be able to do this entire process from A to Z. So the last thing I want to do is I want to kind of walk you through. Let me see if I'm able to. Here we are. Our Aflac website. Okay. So our Aflac website, you pretty much go to sell.aflac.com. It's going to ask you for an email address. You're not going to plug in your personal email address. You're going to plug in your username that Aflac provided to you via email once you completed your contract, and then you add @us.aflac.com. And the password that you created when you did your modules. See if I remember it. So I have to change it all the time. Shania, I'm not sure how much more time we have, but I'm going to quickly brief them through this Aflac site.
Okay, great. If we could wrap up in about 6 minutes.
Okay. So this is your Aflac site right here. And in this site, write some of these things down because I'm going to be a little bit brief on this. Some of the things that I want for you to have access to initially is when you go to training and resources, under producer growth, there's Aflac On Demand. On Aflac On Demand, if anything, and this is how you access it, if you want to learn how to truly prepare to go out and prospect, I would say the first video course that you would do on demand is this Prospecting 101. These videos are like 1 to 2 minutes each. And it walks you through preparing and truly, guiding you through that. Then the next part is employer conversation. So here's the employer 101. So prospecting 101 and employer 101 is very helpful. You also have product trainings. Here you have product value-added services, which are non-insurance plans or products that we can offer to our clients. I'm going to get out of here, go back to the Aflac website. At any point you get lost, you hit the Aflac logo at the very top. You also go to product and services, and the best way for you to be able to see what products are available in your state is going to products by state. And then here you select your state. And these are the products that you can sell direct to consumer. As you can see, it says direct products at the very top. Accident, life, cancer. The juvenile life is for children younger than 17, and our lump sum critical illness. Some of the plans that you cannot offer to clients on a direct basis is our hospital plan and our short-term disability plan, along with our group dental and vision and so forth. These are the plans that you can offer to a company that has at least 3 or more employees, which is the individual products. The only 2 products that you can offer through the group side is a dental and vision and life. So write this down. The other course that you need to take is getting certified for dental and vision. P is in Paul, R is in Robert, 115. How do you do that? When you log into the Aflac website, here's a little book right here. It's your Academy Connect. You click on Academy Connect, and you should be able to see your full site once you're fully contracted with Aflac. And here's your Everwell. You just enroll and launch it from here, EX140. The dental and vision, you have to go to the top right and type in PR115 and then select it and enroll. The last thing that I'll show you is if you want to see a side-by-side product, you can go to training and resources and then e-brochures, select your state, if it's direct or payroll, and here you can select, these are the top 3 products, 4 products: accident, cancer, disability, and hospital. Although I would say life insurance now is our top rated plan right now because you're able to offer guarantee issue life to your clients. I'm just going to show you what this looks like. You can copy this and send it to a client so they could see if you want to show them something. But basically, this kind of gives you a side-by-side of the different options while you're reviewing your brochures so that you can do your comparisons. It's a very good way to learn your products. I'm giving you an idea of what the rates look like on a direct basis. I don't know if you can see my screen, but here's the cancer. The option 1 is a lower level. The base premium is $16.93. You have riders, 3 riders right here. In the very bottom, you can see what these riders stand for. One is a building benefit that can build a policy up to $500 a year in benefit. The other one is the child rider. Notice this is only $1.04 a month, so I always add it. The children are covered at no additional cost on a 1-parent family policy or on a family policy. The only cost that you're adding is this extra dollar to be able to add an additional $10,000 value if a child is diagnosed. And then the dreaded fees. Here are the other options, option 2 and option 3. Here's a critical illness, if you can notice. The other thing I wanted to share with you on the cancer is it is age-based. When you offer this to a company with 3 or more employees, it doesn't matter if they're 18 or 75, they get the same rate. When you're selling it direct to consumer, it's based on their age, and as you can see, the premium goes up. So if I have a client, I'm going to first ask them, where do you work? Can we offer this with your employer? It's at no cost to the employer to offer Aflac to their employees.
Lock that down.
So if I want to be effective, I want to be able to offer them these plans through their company so the rates are lower and I can offer a higher level to them and a better benefit. All the way to the age of 65. You can only offer it in your state to the age of 69, the cancer. Critical illness is only to the age of 64, direct. Payroll is age 75. So obviously there's another reason why you want to offer it to people at their workplace. And here's the accident policy. Obviously our accident policy on a payroll is a lot better, especially it's designed to help you with retention, which renewals is part of this. So here's the option B, and then the life. So I'm going to share this rate sheet so that you're able to have it handy. The last thing I want to show you is McKinsey sends out a welcome. Congratulations, you've been contracted with Aflac, and she sends some training links. This is one of them. So the welcome to the team, Empower. We're going to have some onboarding and additional trainings. And of course, more than happy, and I'm excited, hopefully, that I get to see you guys in person to give some more dive in with you. But here you have some resources. Here you have for agents or producers if you're an LOA contracted with Empower. And there's gaining access to your Aflac website, product positioning, setting up an enrollment, the things that you need for post-enrollment. And one of the things that you want to do is when you are setting yourself up to see clients, you want to make sure that you cross-reference, and I'm going to show you where it is. New account setup, you first want to make sure you cross-reference your account either by state. Let's say I'm in McAllen. And it gives you a list of all of the existing accounts that are in my area in alphabetical order so I can kind of cross-reference them. So that's where you're able to go. But this little training tool, if I was all over the place for you today, this tool right here pretty much walks you through everything step by step. Accessing the Aflac website. Academy Connect. You click on this link, it takes you to where you need to go. On demand, where the videos, the training videos, the prospecting 101 and employer 101. Products, positioning. You're going to go by state. So hopefully this helps in your Everwell enrollment platforms. I didn't have much time today to show you the submitting a sick request, but I do want you to put your phones over this QR code if you have a chance. And I'll give you a few minutes. What this is going to do is it's digitally going to open up what we call a landing page. You can actually co-brand the landing pages for your client by adding their logo, company logo. And if you're setting up for open enrollment or for a client, it'll say, welcome XYZ employees, we're excited. Open enrollment is from this date to this date. It can have your contact information. If you have Calendly, you can add your Calendly to it. Here are the product overviews. Here's the accident plan, a video on the accident. And if you click on the all materials, you can see all of the brochures. I'm just going to click on one of them so that you can see these brochures. You can order if you like to have handy brochures, and the order numbers are at the bottom corner of the brochure. And you just need to order 1 or 2 packets to get yourself jump started. I'm going to close this out. If you have anybody that speaks Spanish, you can change this to Spanish and it changes the language for you. So hopefully this helped. But this is a very good way for you to learn the products as well, because it's got the brochures in this link, and I'll send it to you as well. All right. I am going to stop sharing my screen.
Oh, wonderful. This is a lot of great
A
information.
lot of information that we went
Yeah,
through. Yes.
but all good things. I have a few questions. I'm sorry, I heard echo. Let's see what is that. Okay, is this better? Okay, perfect. So I know we have a few questions in the chat. We want to get to those. So the first question that I have, I'm going to actually share my screen here. Let's see. There we go. So for a brand new agent, what would be the easiest Aflac product to start leading with and why?
I would say the cancer.
The cancer.
The
Okay.
cancer, because when you speak to clients about that product, it gives people a clear understanding of what you're offering. There truly is a need, and that's what we're really truly known for. So I would lead, like if you're selling to a client on a direct or consumer, I would lead with the cancer product. When you are going to a company or an employer, I didn't even get to show you the site seller. It's so awesome, and how to guide you through the conversation with the business owner. But if you're offering it to a client, an employee at a workplace, I offer guarantee issue life. I lead with that. And then once I lead with that, then the next thing is I talk to them about protecting their paychecks. I talk to them about short-term disability. And then I guide them through, and then my third one is the cancer. If you
Okay.
start that way, you're guaranteed. If you told someone we can offer you $50,000 or $100,000 based on how many employees they have, with no underwriting questions, no blood screenings, would you be interested? It could be a term, it could be a whole life, or a combination of both. Even if I had life insurance already, I'll be interested. 2, disability, people protect their paychecks. And then 3, when you talk to them about the cancer policy, it just opens perspective, and there's a lot of interest. The third one is the accident. The fourth one is the accident. So hopefully I answered that question.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I'm
I'm
really
really
excited
excited
just to
just to
learn
learn
more
more
about
about
that
that
cancer
cancer
plan.
plan.
The
The
more you
more you
get to
get to
know
know
about
about
me, the
me, the
more
more
you'll
you'll
know
know
that
that
cancer
cancer
awareness
awareness
is
is
very
very
important to
important to
me.
me.
So
So
I'm
I'm
excited
excited
to
to
explore
explore
your
your
cancer
cancer
center
center
here in
here in
Columbus.
Columbus.
Um,
Um,
the
the
next
next
question, I
question, I
know
know
we
we
are
are
short
short
on
on
time,
time,
so
so
thank
thank
you all
you all
for
for
staying
staying
on
on
a
a
little
little
over
over
time.
time.
But
But
how
how
should
should
our
our
Medicare
Medicare
and
and
ACA
ACA
agents
agents
position
position
Aflac
Aflac
to
to
supplement
supplement
existing
existing coverage?
coverage?
So I will address the Medicare one first. For the Medicare, if it's direct to consumer, remember that some of our products, with exception for the cancer, you can sell it to the age of 69 in your state, which you are very fortunate, because in my state, we can only offer it to someone to the age of 64.
Mm,
Um, and that's the cancer product. There are some of the other products that you'll be limited to on a direct basis, but we are rolling out in the near future a supplemental that you are going to be able to pair with Medicare to get you ready for the open enrollment for Medicare. So be excited for that. It's coming.
awesome.
ACA, what is important is this. If you have clients that are ACA clients, why are they your clients with ACA? Because at their place of employment, they don't offer them insurance. They don't have benefits. So you need to be able to find out where they work so that you can help other employees at that workplace to be able to expand your portfolio. There's a lot of businesses. It's not that they don't care. It's not that they don't want to. That don't offer any benefits to their employees. Utilize and leverage your knowledge with ACA. Hey, You can even position it to say, because of your employer, we're offering you benefits now. And, you know, be able to cross sell in that sector. And, you know, some of these people, although I will tell you, some of the people that have Medicare, I'm going to go back to Medicare. Some of the people that are your clients with Medicare, they can open up a lot of opportunities for you, because they also have family members or children that may possibly be business owners or work at a workplace.
Wow.
Leverage those leads that you already have now. Great questions.
Awesome. So let me ask, okay. Okay. All right. Let me go to the agents on the call. I know I can't see the actual question you asked. I think it was Mr. Jim. Can you unmute and ask your question, please? Your question, please. Okay.
Yeah, there's a really bad echo on the line, and I think it's because you have two users open. Well, I have several questions, but does Aflac sales count as points for the next Empower trip?
Absolutely. Any business you write with Empower counts towards the trip.
All right. I'm also interested in group term life owned by the employer for small groups because it helps recruit, retain, and reward. So is that a product?
We are able to offer a group product for life insurance. And depending on the size of the client, if they have between 3 to 29 employees, you can offer guarantee issue up to $50,000. If they have 30 employees or more, and you only need 3 applications. And if you have more 30 employees or more, you can go all the way up to 100,000, and you only need 5 applications.
Okay. All right. That's great. And can we sell remotely?
Yes, we do a lot of that.
Okay. Thank you. Those were my questions.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those questions. Anyone else? Does anyone else have any questions for Griselda? Okay. All righty. So we are really excited about this opportunity. I know we do have one of our agents, Gregory Pitts. He also is from the Georgia team for Aflac. Greg, are you still on the call?
I am right here. Good
Awesome.
afternoon. Is it afternoon yet? Still morning.
It's still morning, Craig.
Yes. So I just wanted to just have you come on and kind of just, tell Griselda exactly what your role is and, how you could assist us in the future. Greg and his agency, they have already started contracting with us with ACA, but they also are in leadership at Aflac. So and he can just kind of introduce himself and we can go from there.
So, good morning, everyone. Ms. Sanchez, you did a fantastic presentation. I just want to let you know that. My name is Gregory Pitts. I'm one of the district sales coordinators here in North Georgia for Aflac. Corey Borders is my RSC, and Kyle Rice is our market director. So, I've been working with Shania for about 4 or 5 years, and when this opportunity came up, this was just awesome. I would love to sit down with you and see how we can work together. Me and Kyle, we have talked about it with Shania. We've also talked with Virgil about it just a little bit. He was here a couple of weeks ago. We're just trying to figure out how we can work together with your team out and you're in Texas, right?
I am.
Okay, in Texas to see how we can help. Because being right here in Georgia, I can offer some in-person, help and training and development with you guys. So I, I would love to do that. So, but that's why I'm here.
Looking forward to connecting with you, Greg.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Back to you, Shania. Are you still with us, Shania? Did we lose her?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm just talking and it's on mute.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Griselda, for just pouring into us and really uncovering a lot about what Aflac has to offer. We are super excited about this partnership here at Empower. So I look to continue to grow and foster on this relationship. Greg, thank you so much for joining. Everyone, thank you so much for taking your time. I have a few other housekeeping items that we're going to go over just to update you. So Griselda, you're more than welcome to jump off. Thank you.
And if there's any questions, Shania, that come up that you didn't get to ask me in the chat, go ahead and email those to me and I will address them and help you with that.
Thank you. I look forward to
Welcome.
connecting with you soon.
Absolute pleasure being with you guys. And let's see what you can do to have some opportunity. Thank you, Shania. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. Have a blessed week, guys.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So really quickly, I want to just be mindful of everyone's time. Some quick Medicare updates. AHIP will be released on June the 22nd, 2026. So be mindful for that. We want to make sure we're preparing our certifications early. So let's get those done early. Let's get the AHIP done early on June the 24th. We're going to potentially, that's our plan, to go through the AHIP on Humpday Huddle, talk about some hot points. Of course, everyone has to take their test individually, but we're going to go over some hot topics to make sure that everyone's on the right track. Also, get contracting in order. Right now is the time. The blackout periods are lifting. This is the time to make sure you have the right contracts in place. With Medicare, have at least 3 to 5 contracts that you currently have are able to offer and that you're certified, ready to sell for. Also, the same with ACA, life insurance. If you do not know if you have the right carrier mix, or if you have questions about what that carrier mix should look like, then let me know. I can assist you with that. We just want to make sure we have a strong foundation going into AEP. Remember, AEP prep starts now. This is the time to start, dropping leads, showing up to events, creating your pipeline of hot leads that you've connected with personally. So you're not necessarily waiting until October and you're requesting leads from our lead administrator. You should be doing those now, getting familiar with our lead systems and platforms. A very exciting opportunity. So if you are currently contracted with Aetna Medicare with Empower, we have a very amazing opportunity for you where we're able to place you in CVS locations nationwide. So if you are independent agent or individual agent, or if you have an agency with downlines, we can equip you with CVS stores. If this is something you're interested in doing, let me know. This will be an amazing opportunity for you to, the pharmacy, or just to meet live people who need your assistance. So the pharmacy will refer the clients to you, and you build that rapport with the pharmacy, and you can continue a long pipeline of referral leads. So that's just an amazing opportunity I wanted to mention. ACA updates. Of course, we always want to look for SEP opportunities. Just because we're outside of open enrollment for ACA, it doesn't mean that we should stop having our health reviews, our insurance reviews, right? That's what we offer. We like to identify needs. So we fill out our fact finder. You can find our fact finder on your agent portal. So if you're looking for Medicare, it'll be under the senior tab. And for ACA, it will be under the health insurance or individual tab in the agent portal. Make sure you're doing the household reviews and cross-selling ancillary products. We'll talk about some ancillary products that you should have in your arsenal within the next few weeks. Life insurance. Things are changing with ACA, with Medicare, but you have an amazing opportunity at Empower. Not only do you have contracts with carriers like Aflac, you have opportunities to sell life insurance year-round, no special elections, no real compliance as far as except doing the right thing by your client. So make sure you are positioning this, letting people that you know that you offer this product. and that you're cross-selling this from ACA and Medicare. Every appointment uncovers another need. How do you do that? Is by asking the right questions. So next week, we will have a very special guest. You're going to start to see these weekly calls be more intentional because we are gearing up to AEP. All of our meetings are intentional, but every single week we'll meet with a different partner that you can connect with to grow your business. So next week it will be Centerwell Senior Primary Care. They're a great provider partner with Empower Brokerage. They are a senior primary care office, and they help agents with co-oping marketing ideas. So if you have an event or a festival you want to be a part of, Centerwell, they're able to help co-op those opportunities. Also, if you're looking to generate leads from a center, that's a great opportunity for Centerwell. So they're going to come on next week and talk about this opportunity. So make sure you don't miss that. Of course, this call is recorded. So if you have any questions, if you would like to see this, please let me know. Send me an email. I'll be more than happy to send it out to you. Before we wrap up, do we have any last minute questions? All righty. Well, I appreciate, let me just go to the chat. Okay, no questions. I appreciate everyone for joining the call today. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Have a good week.